Welcome, everybody. Got a couple minutes before we get started, so feel free to use those minutes. You know, it's amazing when we're in a hurry that 2 minutes is nothing, right? Don't have enough time. But if you take 2 minutes to be really conscious about how you're setting yourself up to pay attention in a way that will support your well-being. Wow, that's a whole different game. Hello, Ted. Nice to have you here. Oh, beautiful fall day in Sweden. Yeah, I'm in Boulder, Colorado, and boom, we went from sick heat to brilliant coolness and just stunning mornings. Carl's in the room. Nice to have you here, South Wales. Really good to feel this worldwide connection. So most of you know me, but if not, hi, I'm Diane. I am always happy to be here, honored to be here with you. And we've got Alan, Texas in the room. Amanda, welcome. And Bermuda's here. Ardley, I hope I say that correctly. You can help me out. Yeah. So just settling in, finding your way into this moment. Hi, Julie. Nice to have you here. Oh my goodness. And Shelley. South Carolina is represented. Julie, represent your state. A state of mind too, if you wish. Everybody, you can just let me know how you're doing. Oh, my dog's over here doing the little dolphin nose. Anybody know that? Where the dog comes and puts that nose right underneath your arm and says, please, please, please pay attention to me. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to pay attention to ourselves. It's so nice to see all of you. I wish I could really see you. Hi. Hello, Richard and Susan. Arizona. Got Switzerland. I'm about to hop on a plane, come see you all. Well, welcome to this moment. It is a reality that we have never been in this moment before, even though our dear brain tries to organize in a way that says, yeah, I know this, been here, done that. No, brand new. Let's wake up to it. And I do need to name, without being nation-centric, but name the date, right? September 11th is seared into our consciousness relevant to what happened here in the United States, but we are not alone in that level of what I like to say, the contorted confusion that leads to all kinds of destructive behaviors. And I think it's important when we look at memory or we look at dates that are anniversaries of good or bad, you know, how are we remembering? What's the point of remembering? One, what's the point of remembering? And two, how are we remembering is going to determine what change comes. To remember is to potentially regain our freedom. If we're paying attention to an anniversary date of this kind of tragedy and destruction, then it's an opportunity to study what went into the makings of destruction. Yeah. One thing for sure, we can all stand on the same ground no matter where you are in the world, no matter what your belief systems are, that we have a fundamental motivation to belong, to connect, to contribute, to communicate, to know that we are of value, that we matter. Just rest in that for a few moments, and we're going to have a little chat here about this and then dive in to practice that's relevant to this topic. So if that's true, if we all have this fundamental longing, desire, motivation to feel connected, then we will find that in good ways and in bad. It's a lot of what's going on now in the world when we talk about terrorism or radicalizing, usually younger people who are seeking that very thing. So if that's true, when I think about what happened with the Twin Towers and those jets flying into them, that took a whole lot of, and please don't be offended by that, but it took a whole lot of a certain kind of intelligence. I have a hard time organizing a party. The technological intelligence, the target, how to fly a jet. I mean, it took a lot of focus and attention, intentionality, right? To get that done. It's just a confused use of all that. It's going to sound strange, please don't be offended, of that brilliance that's in each of us. So if that's true, then it's based on the conditions or the environment or what we are focusing on that's going to determine whether we develop that brilliance, that intelligence, and varied intelligences, to construct or to destruct. It's in all of us. So now it depends upon what kind of environment we're going to be in. When I think about Rumi, beautiful poet, I mean, what's the difference between a terrorist and a poet? What they've been involved in. Good morning. Good morning. And so that's in part what we do here, is to figure out, well, what am I doing with this, I guess as Mary Oliver might say, this one precious wild life, this system. What am I doing with it on a continual basis to begin to cultivate? And there's a big word, truth. There's so many little T-truths running through the world, right, that are determining a turning of direction of behavior. But is there a truth, a big T-truth? We could debate about religions, but when things like, when I'm thinking of this woman that I hold in my heart all the time, Farkhunda, I think that's how you say her name, in Afghanistan, if I have this correct. There was a New York Times video of this tragedy, that it was assumed that she had done something terrible to the Quran, and she was stoned to death, and it's on camera. And I'll never forget her arm reaching up with this natural inclination, please help me. But the people who were doing the stoning had a particular truth that they were standing on. But is that a fundamental truth? The big T truth might be more in line with what is generative of human thriving. Now, if that's the metric, then that little T truth doesn't hold. So how do we get in there and cultivate our big T truths? And I'm pontificating here. You can leave anything that doesn't jive with you and just go with your own truth. But there's something here about we need to belong, but we first need to belong to our own integrity, our own intentionality that will supersede any group think. So when we're caught in our own mob, whether it's the mob of elite mindfulness people who unwittingly segregate and exile those who are not of similar social standing. Yeah, interesting, huh? It's all in us. We're just confused human beings. But when we're in our own mob, we can realize, oh, I'm aligned to my intention here that is about generative behavior and attitudes, thoughts. Otherwise, we're just going to be pulled by the mob. So yes, we need to be connected. That's what's beautiful about this moment. We have to first be connected here. So a big piece about intention, independent of no matter how great the group might be. Independent. Yes, lovely. Yeah, foundations of values for sure. We need some pillars. And then we have to check when have we been inculcated with certain beliefs that are not generative of life. And that's for you to decide. We need those pillars. Yeah, beautiful. So thanks for bringing that into the room. Grounded in one's own being. Thank you for being in the conversation. Shelley, it's my birthday. It's your birthday. Oh, Shelley, you have another kind of remembering going on. All right. So we're going to, I'm just looking at a few things that I jotted down in reference to this. Just want to ask the question, and have you ask the question, what do you belong to? What do you belong to? What are you affiliated with? And there might be external social, like this, groups that guide, but then what is the deep belonging inside of you? And when do you feel like you are being generative in your thinking or your behavior? And then we just need to tune the system, right? So what we do with our mind, what we do with our body is going to inform what we cultivate, what we don't cultivate. This isn't about belief. So I thought it would be in line with what we're talking about, cultivation, context, environment that supports our best in coming forward, our generative connectivity, constructing good isn't to be Pollyannish, but it is to be darn right scientific about how to take care of the system. So one, body, we'll do just a little bit of movement, get the energy moving, and then focus, a very specific visual focus. I'll add a little breath in there and visual focus, and then a little reflection on intention. If it works for you, I'd love to have you join me there. Mindful sanghas like this one. Yeah. But even then, we have to be on the lookout. I don't mean about our group here, but I think whatever group we're in, we get confused. True affiliation, inclusivity to that which makes us uncomfortable, rather than us trying to be the same. Inclusivity to conflict and difficulty, different points of view. We have to be on the lookout for our affiliations, the status they provide us, and the assumed competencies that come with that. Respectful. Great word, Gwen. Respect. Again, and spect as in spectacles, to see again. That's a brilliant word to bring in here. So let's dive into practice. Enough of my pontificating. Just remember that to remember a date like this, right? We're being a little nation-centric, but it is worldwide to figure out how do we create healthy minds. We want to know how and why we're remembering, and how we can study it, and how the remembering can create a level of freedom to construct something generative. All right. So let's dive into what's already here. Dear body, just notice it. Let the weight of it be here. However it is, whatever level of health or lack of health, ability, disability, dear body is here. Let your bones settle into the surface beneath you. And begin to offer the elements that can help the system focus and be more connected neurally, psychologically, emotionally, and begin to move into the pelvic hip area, that circular motion where you lean a little bit into one hip and then you move forward and you lean into the other and you move back. Very, very delicate, very slow, listening to your own history, pelvic and back, and feeling into it rather than thinking it. Let some of the energy move. Lots of heady stuff that I was saying. Let it drop into the belly. Let your truth be known in the bones of your body. Breaking up the calcification of ideas. How do you like that? One of my writings out there in the world. You may be a stiff one like me. Be so kind to listen in. Move slowly, change direction. You can offer a little breath as you move forward, releasing it. And as you move back, receiving it and feeling it inside of you. Stick with it a little bit longer. Let yourself be warmed up, attuned, mind to the body, inside of it, and knowing where it is in space. And now, as you continue to do this movement, as you move back and receive the breath, feel free to take your arms out to either side as you breathe in. And bring them in as you move forward. Nice, full breath, really feeling the opening and the closing. Find your own way. And then in your own time, wiggle your way into that center point, not too far forward, back, left or right. And just notice how the energy is in your body now. And allow the muscles in the face to begin to settle, jaw to part, tongue to soften. And as if there were warm, kind, firm hands coming from behind and placing right there on your shoulders. Feeling the clavicle and the shoulders and the shoulder blades begin to settle down. Feeling that all the way through the spine into the lower back and right into your belly. And now a few intentional breaths here if you want to join me to support the system. so it doesn't get caught in reactivity and contorted confusion. Letting there be a double inhale through the nostrils, really expanding the alveoli in the lungs, letting more oxygen in. Full release out the mouth of the exhale. Try that about 3 times your own pace and rhythm. Letting the breath be and being curious. A little bit of movement, a little bit of breath. What feels generative and connective and constructive here? And now adding to our practice today, since lack of focus, high distractibility, taking in lots of confused information at rapid speed is one of the ways in which we destruct. I want to offer the possibility of using vision as part of the science of our ability to focus on one point with our vision will inform our mental capacity to actually focus. So see if you can find something other than me or technology that's in your environment, that's stationary. It maybe has some beauty to it, but it's okay. I have a bell here that I'm going to be focusing on. And we're going to just let the eyes be soft, bring our attention to whatever we've chosen. And the challenge is to not move the eyes. They can blink, but to just stay here. And we'll try that for a period of time. I'm going to ring the bell on both ends. Let your body relax. The eyes are determined but soft. The breath continues to move you and you sense it. As the mind pings you, that's fine. You don't need to travel there. Really come back to this visual perceptual cue. The eyes don't leave the object. soft, settled. Not the thought of the object, but just the vision of it, if you're lucky enough to have this external vision. Soft, settled. Exhale, continue to focus the eyes. Soften the jaw, soften the tongue. Warm hands on your shoulders, spreading the clavicles, dropping the shoulders. Not trying real hard, but determined. Intention. Truth. Belonging to oneself. Now you can let your eyes close. Let the breath leave you. Just with the rhythm of being alive, breath moving you, the heart beating. Warmth and weightedness of your body. What is it that guides you? What is your greater intention? Nothing to think hard of, just to reflect. What is it that guides you? What's moving you toward a generative way of being, supportive of life, lives? intention. The direction that you point yourself in. Toward a greater good beyond just yourself. What is generative? What supports human thriving? And sometimes it might be lonely or alone or not aligned with the group. Your integrity. Your difference. How will you contribute? Communicate. Connect. Construct. Big breath out. And really being here for the reception of the next inhale. Your life here now. You are alive. Letting the self be known, your own integrity, your own truth. And the remembering that so many lives being lost all of the time based on contorted confusion. So much heartache out there. The lives lost need to be remembered, but the way in which we make their lives worthy is to consider, how could we be different? How can we grow? How can we learn? How can we do it differently? And this is one step. So there you have it, connecting in, plugging in. Sometimes I wonder, oh my God, what it takes to get this whole system running now. You don't just slam back a cup of coffee. We need some breath. We need some movement. We need some focus. I hope that was a benefit to you. Your feedback is welcome. I hope I did not offend anybody. If I did, there's opportunity for conflict, which is a good thing. Opposing views informing each other. Hello. I'll look over here. Hello, Gwen. Convey. Oh, she got another C word for me. Oh, generative. Ted, I love questions. Generative. We could look it up, but what I mean by it, generates or grows, cultivates. Generative is connective. It's generating life. It's generating wellness, well-being. And I think a big takeaway for all of us as we contemplate is, what is our metric? On the face of it, we might look like we're doing the good things, with our political views and blah, 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 blah. But the question is, when I'm thinking something or I'm about to say something or I'm moving in a certain direction, I can check in the metric. Is this really generative? So I hope that helps. Is this connective? Is this constructive? Does that help, Ted? Thank you, Catherine. Caring, compassion. Gwen's got lots of C's going. Well done. Lovely. I'm trying to catch up with your beautiful. Thanks for the engagement. I hope you keep on engaging in it. in your life and reflect on anything that was said here. And yeah, I'd like to have you in a circle so we could have some real dialogue. So I'm not just pontificating, but, I think it's important reflection. So thanks for sort of joining in and continuing to care for yourselves in this way. I will see you back here at another point. Keep on practicing, as they say, small moments many times. I'd love to be in the circle. More circles, please. You're welcome. Thank you all. I feel warm in the connectivity with you all, and all this deep, I'm looking at this. We have this system, but also everything we receive from our educators and how we were raised. Our system is not wild. It has foundations of values. Yeah, values. And I guess then the metric is, are those values generative or not? Oh, I'd love to hear more from you. All right, everybody. Oh, more about Switzerland. I'm jumping on a plane. I'm going to say hi. Always Rails in the room. All right. One step at a time, one mind at a time. We are contributing to the possibility of constructing a generative world. See you next time. Bye.